This would be a good time to ingest some extra caffeine. Late night adventures on the gridiron, and we all know anything can happen when you kick off after dark. Glad to have you with us from SB Ballard Stadium in Norfolk, home to the Old Dominion Monarchs. As we'll see, a playoff team from last year, the Arizona State Sun Devils, taking on a squad hoping to prevent another L this week, the Old Dominion Monarchs. For EA Sports College Football, I'm Reese Davis, David Pollack, and Jesse Palmer with me. Guys, it's time to get it going. The Monarchs will boot it away to start the game. He'll start the return inside his 5. Nice job executing all of the assignments as they put a stop to that return at the 22. The Sun Devils offense will go to work first. And David, they've got a receiver that if he is able to command some extra attention, it could really help get this offense going.
Nah, and you need that playmaker out wide. That guy makes the whole thing go, right? Having a guy, if you want to play man-to-man coverage, he's going to beat you. And he's shown the ability to do that sometimes for this offense. And he's a guy
breaks into the open. They get him stopped and out of bounds at the 45-yard line. And the big play has this offense ready to mount a threat. The Sun Devils, after ripping off that huge run, let's see if they can do it again. He let that thing fly quickly, but he couldn't make the connection.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have that chance to be complete.
Quickly to the tight end. They'll finally drag him down, but not before he gets it to the 40, and it's a first down. And the Sun Devils moving quickly to the line.
And it's frustrating as a defense when you give up that first down and you give up that pass play. But here we go with this offense. They're right back on the ball. You got to flush that. You got to get lined up, and you got to communicate.
Now he's got it all the way down to the 21-yard line, and they are threatening on first down.
And as soon as the receiver caught the ball, you saw the quarterback start communicating to his teammates what the next play was going to be, because they're now changing the tempo and going fast.
And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain.
It's hard to have success on wide receiver screens when you're facing press man coverage, because your blockers out front oftentimes can't pick them up, and that receiver gets gobbled up as soon as he catches the pass. You saw it on that last play.
Now the connection takes it to the 11. Really need to pick up this conversion and avoid having to settle for the field goal. He'll be stopped just short of the end zone, but they'll have it first and goal. The Sun Devils kept this drive moving on the ground, now back to work. Off the play fake on first down to throw. And this will be incomplete. A big hit there forces second down.
Sometimes it takes quarterbacks a few plays to really get into the rhythm of the game and not force things. I think the quarterback that time was really trying to force the ball to his wide receiver, but against man coverage, there were other guys on that play that were open that could have had a chance. So this quarterback just needs to settle down a little bit. He won't be throwing as many incompletions if he just lets the coverage tell him where to go with the ball.
Looking for the score. Touchdown, Arizona State. Quick strike through the air for the score.
Well, you know, this offensive coordinator scripts his opening 10, 15 plays, and he didn't even need that. They went 9 plays and scored a touchdown, everything working perfectly. They look like a well-oiled machine early in this game offensively.
And he's going to bring it out. And a really nice job by the kick team to get down there and make sure they limit that return. The Monarchs offense headed onto the field. Our first look at them today. Looking for a man. It's Peace. Makes the grab. Now they've got even more breathing room out to the 31 and a fresh set of downs.
Not wasting any time. You just watch the opponent go down on their first drive and score a touchdown. So right away, you're aggressive. You're throwing the football on your first play of the game, and you're getting a nice completion. Really nice job.
And they'll line up from the 31 on first down. The give to the back. And he was fortunate not to lose yardage on that play, able to wedge it back to the line of scrimmage.
Well, this is a defense that we know takes tons of pride stopping the run. That's where it all starts and ends with them, and you saw a great effort on that last play.
Didn't get much on first down. It's 2nd and 9. Wants to go up top. And the defense makes a play, and they get the quarterback down at the 26.
Offensive linemen are offensive linemen for a reason. They're not as fast as those guys on the edge, and you could see that defensive end came screaming off the edge, got to the quarterback before that O-lineman could do anything about it. Nice job of that defensive end. Scoop them sacks, baby.
Looking deep down the right side. He's got it inside the 25. Touchdown, Old Dominion. And once he found open space, the band might as well start playing. The extra point here would tie the game.
One of the reasons this offense is so exciting to watch, they've got guys that are dangerous after the catch. And if this quarterback gets through his progression, David, he hits you in stride, these guys will take it to the house.
Man, it's your job to do the rest, right? You hit me in stride where I don't have to stop running. I don't have to break down. It makes it so easy. The connection between quarterback, wide receiver, you can tell this is a good one, and that's why they got 6 on that play.
Arizona State is going back on offense, and they come out looking for a spark. They stuck the last drive in the end zone. They'll try to follow suit here. They'll run the RPO and fire to the right. And the defense had that one well covered, just a short game there. And the Sun Devils in the hurry up. The running back has it. This junior making his presence felt and making the stop after a short gain.
And, man, the big fellas up front, they don't get a lot of credit. They don't get talked about a lot unless it's negative, but they're the big component, man. They've got to get some push, to get some running lanes, get this running game going. They're the ones that make it go.
He's got his man. Dragged down, but they'll move the sticks for a first down. The Sun Devils come to the line with a new set of downs. From the shotgun, they'll run it. Got enough for the first, and he's still going. All down, but he has enough to move the chains.
Every offense wants to be able to run the ball and be physical, especially on first down. And you want to create 2nd and short, 3rd and short, or just get first downs like that run right there.
They go to the ground. Good pickup on that play. It'll bring up 2nd and 4.
Great offenses always stay ahead of the chains. That run right there, now you're in a good position. It's not 2nd and long. It's not 3rd and long. Now it's the whole playbook's open. The defense really has to honor run.
Oh, he's got some space. They'll get it down to the 10-yard line on that completion. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Sun Devils pounded the rock to move the sticks, now back to work. Looking downfield, it's Castro. He caught it. He gets it in. Touchdown, Sun Devils. Timing and better execution, that is just what a quarterback and wide receiver need.
And it's timing, it's route running, right? You got to be precise. You got to know exactly what yard you're running to. The quarterback, receiver on the same page. That's why you get the touchdown.
He'll bring it out. It's Parrish. Not nearly as much as he'd hoped when he brought it out of the end zone. He'll be stopped at the 15. This drive will open from the 15. First play of the drive, wants to throw. Under fire. And the pressure gets him back at the 8-yard line. The pocket broke down, and the quarterback had to take the sack.
Really impressed by this pass rush, Reese. Just guys winning their individual battles one-on-one up front. They're able to get to the quarterback.
Now facing 2nd and long after the defense came up with that sack. Back to pass. Finds his man. It's Tucker. They make the stop, but not before he takes a chunk out of what they need to move the sticks.
Here's an incredible statistic early in this game. With that catch, he's already over 100 yards in the game, and we're only in the first quarter still. He has been getting open. He's been making catches. At some point, the defense may have to start triple covering this guy.
On 3rd down, he drops to throw. Unloads to the wideout. Snagged in the middle. It's Tucker. And they'll move the chains and get it to the 47-yard line. Line gets set. 1st down. DB's locked up tight on the receivers. The give on the inside. Inside the 40. Lots of green grass as he gets it to the 31.
Well, that's why this running game can be so dynamic. This guy is special when he has the football in his hands. He can make people miss, he can run with power, and he also has speed. You saw it on that last play.
That's reeled in. It's Hernandez. They make the stop, trying to pick up just a little bit at a time to get to that 1st down marker. And the Monarchs can really attack on this 2nd and short. Just a short pass to the tight end. Hauled down, but they'll move the sticks as he picks up the 1st down. The Monarchs looking to take advantage of this red zone trip. To the ground with the back. And this one will be stopped for no gain.
Great job by the defense. Everybody firing off the ball, hitting their guys, holding their gaps, running to the football, nowhere to go.
They'll give it to the back. And there was nowhere to go, just stopped in his tracks in the backfield. This will be the 8th play of the drive, but a great opportunity for the defense to get off the field. On 3rd and long, he'll need to push it downfield.
And I think on that last play, that's an example of the quarterback trying to predetermine who he wants to throw to, and instead of letting the defense dictate who gets the ball. Man coverage, that guy was not open that time out on the perimeter of the field. Still, he gave him a chance, but that thing had incompletion written all over from the moment the ball left his hand.
And you want a touchdown and you want to be aggressive, but man, right down the middle, that obviously gives me some confidence down the road that I can trust this guy.
And he takes this from inside the 5. He only needs a sliver of daylight. This guy makes you hold your breath when he gets the football in his hands, and that last line of the coverage team, the only thing that stopped him from housing it. So 1st down here as they go back to work. Sends it back in motion. Swings it out to his running back. Across the 45. He got loose, almost housed it, finally dragged down at the 32.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
Blasted as he lets it go. Finally corralled, but not before. He picked up the 1st down.
All right, defense. It ain't working, right? They're stringing together several 1st downs here. We're going to need to change this up, find something we can disrupt the quarterback and mess up this offense a little bit.
The Sun Devils line it up with a 1st and goal. Back in motion, try to clear the picture. Back to throw, it's Castro. It's complete to the right. They've got it down to the 3-yard line. Really well done on that throw and catch.
The offense trying to throw it there quickly down close to the goal line. Nice job by the defense tackling the catch.
to slam in. Into the end zone he goes. Touchdown, Arizona State. Follow the blockers. The offensive line will take you to the hallelujah land.
And I tell you what, most of the time, Reese, it requires a little bit of skill to find that hole and, slither through a little crack. That was not a crack. That was wide open. Didn't take a lot of vision because the blocking was outstanding.
Here he comes from inside his own 5. He was looking for some running room, but not much to be found as he stopped at the 18. ODU ready to send the offense back onto the field. They're going to have to be more aggressive in this drive. You can't expect to win this one, David, kicking field goals.
No, especially when you're trailing. You got to have a little more urgency and maybe a little more aggressiveness, Jesse. And field goals are not going to get it done down the stretch.
Yeah, you're going to have to take some shots, no doubt. Bottom line, when plays present themselves, you've just simply got to make them.
After getting knocked back to open this drive, it's 2nd and 12. Motion from the back. Takes the easy throw in the flat. And maybe he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, but no more than that. That play looked as if it had a chance to be productive, but the open field tackle stopped it.
And it's tough to get a running back one-on-one on the ground in the open field. You want guys swarming to the football to try to make that play, but understand that guy's a weapon. Good job by the defense seeing it, breaking on the football, getting him on the ground.
Looking downfield, it's Peace. Fires to the right. Pulls it in. It's hooked. He goes out of bounds right at the 37-yard line. A good, productive play there to get things going.
And the QB just makes it look easy. Drop back, surveys the field, makes the correct decision, throws the ball where his receiver can catch it, doesn't put it in harm's way. That's a really good quarterback making it look easy.
And the Monarchs have it with a 1st and 10. Back to the ground game on the left. Stopped in the backfield. He's going to lose 3 yards on the play.
And you got to do a better job up front right there. That run was doomed from the get-go. Nowhere to go. The back gets hit as soon as he gets the football. Hard to succeed as a running back when you get the ball and you get clocked.
They stop him almost immediately. Short gain there and still a little ground to cover to pick up the 1st. They've got to come up with a big play on this 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. Fires to the wideout. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd down.
Well, the defense finally has figured it out. That was critical for their confidence because they had been scored on earlier. They'd given up a ton of yards. I think they understood the gravity of the situation. 3rd down, that was critical for them to get off the field, build momentum, build some confidence. Nice job that time by the defense.
Arizona State has the ball back in the offense, making its way onto the field. They've been nothing short of spectacular so far. 3 drives, 3 touchdowns. There he goes. And the big gain, and they've got it on the 46.
Busting big runs like this is a total team effort. Obviously, the back has to find the hole, but you got to have everybody around them doing their job to make it a good play call.
And everybody around them doesn't just mean the offensive line. The receivers getting their blocks downfield is a big deal, too.
It's a huge deal. We always talk about them catching passes, but blocking is so important for their responsibilities.
Quick completion to the right. At the 35, he's loose. A huge chunk play as he gets it all the way down to the 11.
Well, the offense is humming now, and you're seeing they can generate explosive plays in a variety of ways. They had the big run on the previous play. That time they're able to take a shot. Everything they're dialing up right now is working beautifully.
And the Sun Devils just got that huge run. They love another explosive play. The give from the gun. He'll be brought down at the 5-yard line, and this defense is on its heels.
And after having a nice gain like that on 1st down, if you're the offensive coordinator here, maybe you're thinking about being aggressive and taking a shot. Because even if it's incomplete on 2nd down, on 3rd, you won't have that long to go.
They'll send the back in motion. Touch pass on the run. He's brought down, but he went backwards after that completion, not the way they had it drawn up.
I like offenses being creative. I'm not sure if that was the best place to call that play. I think this offense needs to think about just doing things a little bit more by the book. They've got a lot of good playmakers. You don't have to reinvent the wheel this early in the game.
Down to 2 minutes before the half, and they'll take the timeout and see if they can add a little more before the break. Tight quarters deep in the red zone, but they can pick up a first down without scoring. Third down. Looking to throw, it's Castro. Fires to the end zone. Touchdown, Sun Devils! And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. No step back in week 3. They have been sharp as they extend the lead. Effective offense leading the way here and establishing this lead.
And that's how you draw it up, right? You want to come out, be clicking early, get everything going, way to get all the facets rolling. The defense right now on their heels, they have no answers. The offense doing whatever they want.
And he passes on the touchback. Here he comes. I imagine he's going to get an earful on the sideline after bringing it out of the end zone and being knocked down at the 11. Plenty of time to work, not any time to waste as they take over here in the final 2 minutes of the half. Trying to start the drive with a pass. Caught. Turning it on. They corral him out of bounds. Mark it down at the 38, and this offense might have something going. He had the perfect play to open the drive, and now they'll snap it again from the 38. Out of the gun to give to the back. Picks up the first down. Brought down at the 47-yard line after the 15-yard pickup. Wants to go up top on first down. The short hands. It's moved. Ball is loose. Defense covering it up and not letting the offense get it back. It's a turnover.
And that's a great job by this defense, limiting the yards after catch. We know guys are going to get the football in their hands, and he gets the ball out quick, gets it to them. Nice job running to the football. When you chase the football, man, a lot of good things happen. That ball pops out, you recover it, a forced turnover.
And he was on his way, gets it all the way to the 38.
Man, this quarterback is having himself a day. Over 200 yards in the first half. It was hard enough for Palmer to get over 200 in a game, more or less in a first half.
It's 1st and 10 from the 38-yard line. He wants to change this route. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Complete in the middle. And a nice grab with a defender right on him, and he's down at the 20. The Sun Devils racing to the line in the hurry-up. From the red zone, looking for a receiver. Hauls it in. That completion will take it close to the 5-yard line. They'll mark it at the 6. We got a timeout here late in the first half, and they'll try to get more points on the board before the break. This offense has been a juggernaut, and they have a chance to pad their total just before halftime. Back to pass, it's Castro. Going for 6. Touchdown, Arizona State! Grab the short pass to put the 6 on the board.
And, man, the defense really needed to stop there. They needed to create some momentum, get the ball back to the offense before the half. But the offense does their job, and they continue to pile on, continue to create momentum. There's going to have to be some questions answered at half with this squad because it's been a struggle in the first half.
And he pumps it up inside the 20. Recovered by the kicking team.
Very rarely do you have a play on defense where you've got 30 yards head of steam built up to come make a collision. On kickoff and kickoff return you do, and a lot of times you see big sticks and fumbles happen as a result.
This offense has been running up and down the field, and here they are, 1st and goal, a chance to tack on another one before halftime. They weren't able to get that one off. It'll be a delay of game. So frustrating to see an offense lose track of the play clock and pick up a penalty like that. And the Sun Devils trying to pay off the threat on 1st and goal. They'll ride the running back and leave it with him. They get him stopped, but those feet kept moving until he was down to the 5. Picked up some of what they needed on first down. Now it's 2nd and goal from the 5. Looking for a path to the end zone to the right. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Well, you obviously want to get your receivers the football down here in the red zone, but it's tough to throw it to them because the windows are so small. So I like the idea, handing it off to that guy and seeing if he can do something with his speed.
This defense was put in a difficult spot, but they've made it tough, and now the offense faces 3rd and goal. Looking to throw, it's Castro. Touchdown, Sun Devils! Quick strike through the air for the score.
And with that score, this thing is getting ugly. This offense has had their way, and not only have they had their way, now they finished the half like you're supposed to, scoring the football, building on their lead. This defense is going to have to go into half and find some answers.
They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. And he'll just take a knee, and this drive will start at the 25. Inside 30 seconds to play in the half. We'll see how aggressive they are on this drive. Power football with the run. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender. They'll use a timeout right before halftime. Maybe time for 1 or 2 more plays. Time dwindling away as they try to put points on the board right before the half. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play. We've got a timeout in the waning seconds of the half. Maybe a chance to get off a couple more plays. The defense going to stop the clock with a timeout. They want to make sure they have everybody on the same page. The Monarchs send out the punt unit. This will be the 2nd time they've had to kick it away. They'll knock him down, and that'll take us to halftime. We've played 2 quarters here. Time to go to Kevin Connors in our halftime update. The Sun Devils will kick it off to start the 2nd half. Fielded in the end zone. It's Parrish. And the return man reaches the end of the line, and down he goes. Old Dominion has the ball back. The Monarchs will send the offense onto the field. Got blown out in the first half, and now just desperate to find anything to generate momentum here in the 3rd quarter.
It just starts with one play, though. You just need one thing to go right for this offense to start to build that momentum, and then that becomes infectious for the defense, for special teams. Everything can change. It just takes one play.
It really can, and it's so strange, and you can't quantify it, and I don't know how to describe it as a coach or as a player, but you got to make something happen, and it's got to start on this drive.
It doesn't matter what run play you have called, if you're running it inside or outside. If the defense gets penetration, everything is done. And you saw it on that play right there. Great job by the dude.
He's brought down, but it'll be enough for a 1st down.
3rd and 1. Everyone knows it's coming, but the quarterback sneak is so hard to stop. They just got to get 1 yard. Nice job by the offensive line.
Well, a really good push by his center on that last play, making it easy for his quarterback to just tuck the football, belly it, get low, and drive your legs.
And the Monarchs with myriad options after that big pickup on 1st down. Got it in the middle. It's Hooks. Good job running that route to get past the sticks because he got nothing after the catch.
And you throw a little hitch route. Nice job getting the ball out of his hands quickly. Wide receiver, quarterback. Nice job being on the same page. Nice completion, nice catch.
He's brought down quickly. Minimal gain there. Still a bit short of the 1st down.
Guys out of the backfield now, it's not just run the ball downhill anymore. You got to be versatile. I got to be able to trust you in the pass game, and I got to be able to throw you the football, and you can do that right there.
Breaks into the open. They'll get the first down. It's spotted on the 49.
Well, obviously the offense went 3 and out on their last drive. They're having a little bit more success here. That was a nice run, and I think that's the key, guys. If they're able to run the football, they're going to be able to stay on the field. And I think that's something you want to think more about if you're the play caller on offense.
They make the tackle at the 36, but they're in plus territory now with the 15-yard pickup. The Monarchs come to the line with a fresh set of downs.
Let's go!
To the air, it's Peace. Connection to the right. Touchdown, ODU! Baby in and then strolled into the end zone for the score.
And it's now the second time this wide receiver has scored. Another outstanding job with the route. Great job securing the catch.
And he makes the extra point. They're set to kick it off, and you think this crowd's going to get loud when their defense comes on the field? He'll bring it back from inside his 5. And good work by the coverage team to get the return man down on the ground. Arizona State is going back on offense, and they come out looking for a spark. They'll go back to work with a sizable margin still up there on the scoreboard. Reads it, fires complete. Crosses the 30. And he'll go out of bounds, and this aerial attack just continues to carve this defense into tiny slices. And the Sun Devils come to the line after ripping off that huge gain on the ground, trying to keep it going. Shows him the stiff arm. And he was able to get away from one tackle, but plenty of help was on the way. Decent pickup on that play.
It's got to feel good as an offense knowing that early in the drive you can turn around, hand it off, get a push up front, and go get positive yardage.
The Sun Devils in a good spot here with 2nd and short. Takes the easy completion. At the 35, he's got room. They finally get to him, but what a play there to pick up the first down.
Well, this defense is going to have to find a way to start mixing up their coverages. They're in a tough spot. They're down right now, so most people would think the opponent would be running the ball, but when you've had the success these guys have had throwing it, you're going to see more shot plays, and you better change your looks up and try and get a takeaway to get back in this game.
Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. And the Sun Devils with a 2nd and short to keep this drive moving. Wants to throw. It's Castro. He's got him. There he goes. They'll get him stopped just short of the end zone, but they're in business here with a first down.
Well, there are a lot of offenses out there that would probably be a little bit more conservative when you've got a lead like this in the 3rd quarter, but when you've got the playmakers these guys have at the skill positions throwing the football, you should keep airing it out, and that's a...
And he takes it in for the score. Touchdown, Arizona State. Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. And the extra point was good to finish things off. Kickoff unit getting some extra work as this lead has really grown. On the run from inside his own 5. Not a lot of space to be found. Good hustle by the coverage team, and they stop him at the 21. ODU ready to send the offense back onto the field. The last time they had it, they took it down the field for a touchdown. They can build some confidence that they could go back-to-back scoring drives here.
Yeah, and remember, it's not uncommon for offenses to find themselves as the game goes on. They had some things not go their way early, but they found something last drive, David. Let's see if they can build on it.
Yeah, you just pick and pick and pick until you find that place where you're like, okay, this is an advantage I have. They've clearly found that, dude. They score here, we're in for a ball game.
Great job at contained by this defense. And in order to do that, the end man on the line of scrimmage defensively has got to be able to set the point and force the football back into traffic. And that's exactly what happened.
It's complete to the left. And he'll step across the sidelines after making a good gain on that one. Now facing a 3rd and long. Looking to throw its piece. Throws to the wideout. And that's incomplete. A defender all over him. Knocked the ball to the ground. 4th down coming up. And the Monarchs will punt it away on 4th down. Makes the catch. Wants to make a move upfield. Returns like that are why you don't settle for the fair catch if you don't have to. Picks up just a little bit of yards to help out the O. Arizona State has the ball back in the offense, making its way onto the field. They're starting this drive with a massive lead, and they just want to finish strong. Quick handoff. They pick up half of it. It'll be 2nd and 5.
Well, here's the thing. Not a great run, but the offense has scored a ton of points. They haven't necessarily needed to have a strong running game in this one. Their quarterback right now is just playing lights out, and if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I'd get back to throwing the ball.
Looking to fire. He'll take the deep shot. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
Well, the offense has had their way all game long up to this point. Finally, the defense is able to make a play. And I'll tell you, after that hit, that receiver is going to be thinking twice about running that route again.
He gets it to the 38-yard line, and they'll pick up a fresh set of downs. We asked earlier this week, who's your favorite receiver? And, of course, he said the open one. But we know who he really wants to go to on 3rd down.
The best one. I mean, I think the open one, obviously the politically correct answer, but you want to find the guy that you got that great chemistry with. You know exactly where he's going to be.
Oh, he just handled it poorly, and it's a fumble. Knocked down, but not before. He gets the 1st down after recovering the fumble.
Good awareness by the offense. You never want to see the ball on the ground, but a nice job understanding to just kind of jump on it and make sure you keep possession.
So after reviewing the undisputable video evidence, the replay booth has decided to overturn the call. The Sun Devils have their offense in high gear. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. Got enough space. Touchdown, Sun Devils. And they take it in for 6 more points.
Man, these ball carriers, they've got a lot of ability in the open field. Their ability to make people miss, but also show off the speed. You saw all of that on that play.
And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Guys, every game in the SEC so vital to a team's season, and this one is no different. TCU rolled to victory in front of those fans in Fort Worth who had the Go Frogs hand sign up for 60 minutes. Super Frog was flexing all game too. As complete a win as they've had for some time. Going to be very interesting to see what the fallout from this one is, because as we know, you can't lose games in the SEC like this without some blowback.
Kevin, thanks a lot for that one. Sounds as if they had a good one there. Out of the shotgun, they go to the ground. Across the 25, he's got room. He'll step out of bounds right at the 44. A big-time pickup on that one. The Monarchs, after exploding for that huge run, back to work. He'll do it himself. Looks as if we have an injury on that last play, and we'll take a break to check him out. And the Monarchs can play this 2nd down a lot of ways with just a few yards to go. Looking for a man. It's Peace. Catch in the middle. It's John. Really putting together a threat now. They get the first. It's at the 37.
That's a huge throw for the offense, but they're down by a ton. They're going to need a lot more of that, and it's not going to be easy considering the defense knows they're probably going to be throwing the ball every play here in the 2nd half.
Just can't pull the trigger, and the quarterback is sacked at the 41.
And how about the strong safety on that blitz? Great job timing it and also getting to the quarterback. Sometimes you're going to have to negotiate around tight ends and running backs, and that strong safety, he just beelined into the backfield.
The Monarchs trying to find their way forward after the big loss on the last play. Second down, he'll throw it. They'll throw it to the back on the screen. And eventually taken down, but what about that spin move? Gives him the first down yardage. On the set. Defense going to jam these receivers right off the line. Here we go. And you want to talk about his favorite receiver, it might be everybody based on the number of guys getting touches and a chance to show off their hands in the passing game. So will the beatdown continue, or is this a comeback for the ages in store? We'll see as we start the fourth. They go back to work with a first down in the final period of this one. Grabbed in the backfield. It's Johns. And that had all the makings of bug meat windshield, but how about the little corner taking on the big tight end and keeping him from getting the first? Behind the chains now on second and long. Come on, Seth. Looking for a physical attack from the gun. Stop is made, but he picks up 4 yards down to the 21-yard line.
I think that was an example of the offensive coordinator trying to help out his quarterback. He's trying to keep these third downs manageable. You know, you throw the ball on second down and it's incomplete. Now you've set up third and long, and now you're set up to fail.
Steaming into the backfield to make the stop, and he'll lose 4. And for the second time tonight, they'll trot out the field goal kicker. Good right down the boulevard. Well, they got 3 back, but that's about all you can say about it. Man down on the play as the officials take a break to let him be checked out. Here he comes with the return. And the return man showing great vision to be able to find some space and put his team in much better position. Arizona State is going back on offense, and they come out looking for a spark. How about the way they attacked the last time they had the ball, mixing run and pass, turning it on. And he was loose and out the gate and doesn't go down until he gets to the 48-yard line. They've done a really good job identifying mismatches, and they find one out of the backfield there.
Reese, I really don't think it's that hard. My guy is better than yours. Find the matchup across the field. Running back's got some speed. Get it in his hands quickly. Throw it to him fast. Let him make somebody miss against a slower guy that's usually a linebacker.
Got away from trouble and got rid of it. Open space at the 25. They finally get him on the ground, but he's got an explosive play for the first down. And another big play by this offense, and if they are playing, not thinking about the scoreboard at all, there's evidence of it right there.
Hey, if there's time on the clock, as a defense, stop us, because we're not stopping ourselves. We're going to continue being aggressive. We're going to continue trying to score points. That's the aggressive nature of this football team.
That completion gets them inside the 10, and the defense is running out of room to defend. Dumps it off in the flats. And he'll take this into the end zone, but hang on just a second. Flag down. Let's see what this is about. Take it off the board and back it up. This penalty will wipe away the touchdown. And the Sun Devils have it in scoring position on first and goal.
Let's go, let's go.
Quarterback making checks. Wants to throw it. Quick strike complete. The ball is down at the 14 after that grab. defense rose up deep in its own end on that last play. Now a 2nd and long coming. He'll run it to the middle, looking for the end zone. He's tackled right at the 10-yard line, and they're trying to cash in on this drive.
It's looking like they're going to have to try to throw this one into the end zone here on 3rd down, David. Quarterback's got to be careful. Can't get greedy because you know these windows, they close fast.
Extremely tight windows. Find your big body guys that you know can win in contested situations here on 3rd down.
Looking for the touchdown on 3rd and goal. And he was trying to pay off this red zone opportunity, but it's incomplete. And now on 4th down, they'll try a field goal. He got it. And they just tack on a little more to this gargantuan lead. That lead just keeps getting fatter, and this kickoff team doing a little running. And it'll be a touchback. The ball will come out to the 25-yard line. Old Dominion has the ball back. The Monarchs will send the offense onto the field. Guys, that last trip a little disappointing having to take the 3.
Yeah, and I think, Jesse, you see so many offenses talk about getting yards and the tempo and all the stuff they do. It was a nice job moving the football, but they got to get in the end zone this time.
Yeah, and I think to do that, they just got to be more physical at the point of attack. Get some push up front. They need to be the best running team in this game to win.
Defense is about firing off, hitting the offensive guys, and staying in your gaps. Everybody knowing where they're supposed to be. You could tell the defense, everyone was right where they're supposed to be, nowhere to run.
Looking to pass. It's Pitts. Grab behind the line. It's Johns. The defense wouldn't let him loose there, and it was a completion, but they lost yardage.
That's a great example of the defense there tackling the catch. As soon as the big fella caught the ball, down he went, not picking up the first.
You make up the game plan and not a lot on the play sheet for this. 3rd and long from inside their own 20. He's looking downfield to throw. Takes a hit as he fires. And the missed connection on 3rd down.
No harder position to play in a ball game than the offensive line. You know, tonight in this game, you're down by a lot. You know you have to pass the football. Man, it's a tough job to protect up front, and they definitely struggled on that play.
And the punt team able to smack him to the ground. Arizona State has the ball back, and the offense making its way onto the field. They had to settle for the chip shot field goal last time, Jesse. They'd love for this one to pay off bigger.
Yeah, it just comes down to execution, too. Did a nice job out in the field, stalled a little bit once they got down to the goal line, so they just need to be a little bit more crisp here, Dave.
Yeah, and listen, I think the first part was the most important part. You got to put the drive together first to get down there. Now, when we get down there, focus on execution and getting 6 points.
And here's the mindset if you're on offense. 4th quarter, you've got a huge lead. Obviously, you're going to run the football, but just be aware of the clock. You don't want to snap it too quickly. You're probably just...
Breaks into the open. Big pickup on that one. They'll mark him out at the 40. The Sun Devils come to the line in the hurry-up.
And I don't know if this defense knows what just hit them because they gave up the completion, they gave up a 1st down, and now here's the offense back up at the line of scrimmage again, going tempo.
Got out of trouble and throws. Got rid of it in a hurry, but he couldn't find his man. It's incomplete. Working well behind the sticks on 2nd down. They'll run play action. This time on target. Ripping off a good chunk inside the 25, and they're set up with a 1st down. And the Sun Devils come to the line with a new set of downs. They want that clock to run. He'll be pulled down after a good run. They'll mark it at the 15. The big pickup on first down leaves them with 2nd and 1. Leaves it with the back. Got some room, headed to the goal line. And they're going to put another one into the end zone as they just keep piling points on the scoreboard.
And all the hard work and commitment pays off, getting their first win of the season. Really impressed how they came out. After starting the season 0-2, they knew this was going to be a physical game, and they came ready to go on both sides of the ball. Very, very impressive.
On the move from inside his 5. And the coverage team able to wrestle him down. ODU ready to send the offense back onto the field. This has been an old-fashioned fanny paddling, David. I mean, they've just got taken behind the woodshed.
There's nothing to say. This has been an absolute beatdown. Dominated from the start, Jesse, to almost the finish now. They have done nothing right.
Everyone's going to have a real hard look at themselves, I think, this week after watching the film and in practice. And they've just got to take accountability. They have to understand, man for man in this offense, they've got to do a better job next time they're on the field.
They're trying to find some room on right tackle. That is a big win for this defense as they were right there as soon as he got the ball.
Great running backs consistently make people miss, and he did a really good job of breaking one tackle, but he couldn't do it to the next, and to the next, and to the next. The offensive line going to have to do a lot better job, giving him some more space so he can get out in the open field and make some plays for this offense.
Now on 3rd down for this offense. From the gun, they'll try the middle. They'll make the stop about 3 yards short of the first down. And the Monarchs decide to punt it away. He'll try to really get into this one. Let's see what he can do with it. He gets a block. He's going to get loose. Man, oh man, did that coverage team have its hands full. Well, not full because they didn't get a hand on him for quite a while. Great return there. He's got him in the flat. They make the stop, but he'll have enough yardage for a first down. The Sun Devils want to crank the tempo. Wants to adjust the pattern. Off the play fake on first down. Quarterback now on the run, still looking. Complete to the right. He's got enough for the first down, and that ought to be enough to put them in victory formation for the rest of this one. And they probably don't need to risk running a play here, but and we have breaking news. They score yet another touchdown.
Points, points, and more points. This offense has had their way. They just keep their foot on the gas, keep putting up points, keep putting up touchdowns. And you know what? This is one of those stats days. You look back and you're like, that guy had 12 touchdowns on the year. Well, 4 or 5 of them might have been in this game.
Fielded in the end zone, it's Parrish. I know he thinks he can house every return, but sometimes you just have to take a knee as he stopped at the 14. Old Dominion has the ball back. The Monarchs will send the offense onto the field. This thing got out of hand on them, but they'll try to finish with some pride here.
And this one was a beatdown. And there's nothing you can do about it because this one's over. Jesse, now we got to start progressing for next week for the rest of this season so we don't let one bad game turn into 2.
Yeah, there are very few teams out there that won't watch game film, but they may want to skip this one. I mean, because it may hurt their confidence. They just need to turn the page and get ready for the next opponent and forget this day ever happened.
With the catch, it's Cooper. Nice pitch and catch there, and they'll have enough for the first down. Last completion moves the sticks in, and let's see if they try it again.
Here we go.
Dropping back, it's Pitts. A deep throw as the clock winds down. What a spectacular grab there as they try to finish this game with a little something to feel good about. This is what an elite team does. They know they're better. They go out. They take the figurative sledgehammer and hit them right between the eyes.
And they just look good in every phase